Hello everybody and welcome back, or not welcome back, welcome to my first impressions of SteamWorld Dig, a fistful of dirt. Now this is a game by Image&Form that is, it's very interesting in the way that it's kind of it's a side-scrolling platformer for the most part, but it's a pretty damn unique one in the way that the best way I could think to describe it would be a mix of kind of a Castlevania, a Metroidvania mixed with Dig Dug, which, as one might imagine, is kind of a weird way to think of things. There's a little bit of Spelunky mixed in there as well, but really the similarities between this game and Spelunky are very, very few. Like, they kind of end just in the fact that it's a 2D side-scroller and, like, mining or spelunking is involved. So, why not just go ahead and get started with things? We're gonna start off a new game, keep things fresh with stuff. I've played about a little bit more than an hour into the game, and I've been loving my time with it so far, and things really pick up fast with this game as you move along. And even with that hour spent, it does not feel like I'm very far in the game at all, so let's go ahead and watch this pretty damn beautiful opening cinematic, if I do say so. Here we are, Mr. Cowboy Man in Tumbleton. We're nuts about gold! Oh, 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 oh. Looks like we seem to have encountered a bit of a problem, though, moving along our ways. So, basically, this pops you off right into the action. We're about to, spawn at the bottom of this cave, or wake up, not really spawn. And it just plops us right into the basic tutorial mode in this game. Ah, yes, Rusty's gonna talk a bit right here. We don't need to read any of that, though. The dialogue in this game is, good, of course, but it's not like... This isn't the type of game that, it's no, like, Telltale's Walking Dead, you know? You're not playing this one especially for the storyline, more for the awesome gameplay and stuff like that. So, immediately trying to go right, we can't really get into anywhere. We can't actually do much of anything right now. All we can really do is jump, since we don't really have any items on hand for us. But, classic 2D side-scroller controls for the most part. I'm playing it on a Xbox controller at the moment, and, it definitely controls perfectly with an Xbox controller. PC controls seem alright, but, even though I haven't really dabbled with them very much, but the Xbox is definitely the way to go in regards to this one, 100% in my opinion. But you could still enjoy it if you don't have a controller, you know. But, so let's just go ahead and mosey on along this way. First thing I should point out is that one very interesting, unique thing about this game, we're about to pick up our main weapon and actually main utility item in the entire game, the old pickaxe. But, one interesting and very unique thing about this game is that it functions on a timer kind of ability whenever you're chilling in the caves, like we are right now. You've got your health in the top left corner, which can be revived by picking up these gears with a little HP dial on them. But then you also have your heat. Your character, this robot man, he actually runs on heat. So let's actually talk to Dorothy so we can try to get out of here as fast as possible. Because, oh shoot, I'm supposed to find a lever. Or a lever, I could say. But, this is perfect timing. As you can see, the heat meter is slowly going down as time passes. And we will actually die once that runs 0. Or actually, I believe we will die. I probably should test that, but I've actually never died as opposed to, or from losing all heat in the past. But there are these gears right here that have a little flame in them. Basically, those restore your flame, I suppose, could word it that way, to allow yourself to keep on moving along and continue your journey traveling throughout the depths and stuff like that. Or at least the depths of these cave systems. So basically, one thing basically what you're seeing right now, mining through a lot of rocks and stuff like that, is something that you are going to see a lot through your time playing this game. In fact, it's I would definitely say the main mechanic, even more than fighting enemies and stuff like that. But really, you would think that would be really boring and tedious for the most part. But from my experience, I've really, oh god, we actually might die. God, get up the ladder, run. Oh my god, okay, we're okay. As you can see, once we get out in sunlight, our heat meter actually fills up to full again, so we don't have to worry about that once we do that. But as I was saying, the mining actually functions really well. It's not nearly as tedious as you would imagine just hearing it right off the bat. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It's actually a lot of fun mining through the depths and stuff like that. And I'll get into that more in more detail once we get back to all those shenanigans. Right now, let's actually explore our hub world. There's this lady right here. She's basically like the owner of the saloon. I don't know why I spent time talking with her. She doesn't really have anything for us right now besides flavor text. In fact, as far as I've gone, I don't think she's had anything for us other than flavor text. Gotta say one thing I gotta point out. Like most side-scroller games like this, the best two animations in the entire game are the looking up, but even more so in this one, the looking down. Gives like a kind of like really badass Clint Eastwood kind of look to our cowboy man, like he's like, ugh, like he's mourning his fallen allies as he just bows his head in sorrow. So let's go ahead and talk to Dorothy right here. She's just gonna tell us about like how the shop works, I think, but also more importantly like the level up and upgrading system. Apparently she didn't have any of that to say though. But there's this dude, her father, Mr. Cranky Man. What he's gonna function as is our main upgrading hub, but he's not really open right now, so let's just get to mining. So basically, what you're going to be doing for the most part while traveling through the caves is two things. It's going to be twofold action. You're going to be looking for gold, so you can both, or gems, I might want to say. Basically any minerals, and any kind of minerals that you'll find within the rocks, which are very clearly defined by those kind of like weird, colorful rocks that are just chilling in there, or once again, weird, colorful minerals. They're just chilling within the dirt. So as you're moving along, you're going to want to plan like your movement and action based around, oh god, that angry bug man awakened. The beast awakened from his cave, or something like that. But so basically as you're traveling along, you're going to be looking for these things, but you're also, it also forces you to be surprisingly like cautious about where you mine and how you choose your paths while you're mining, because you don't want to get into, I mean, it's not like, this isn't like life or death, but you want to avoid as much as you can getting in a position where you actually make it impossible to mine something. Like, for example, it's made much easier for us right here by going atop this thing and then mining down onto it from above. Basically guarantees us easy access to it. Just, it's one of those things, you know, where the more treasure you get, the faster you'll be able to progress through your time in the game. So, as you guys could almost certainly see so far, we are not alone while traveling down these caves. There's actually all these weird, like, larva monsters that, start on these first floors, and one other as well. There's this weird, like, angry turtle beast man that's very, very frustrating. I really hate that kind of creature. Let's actually leave that one right there, because hopefully I'll be able to upgrade the pickaxe in a bit and actually show off, a really interesting mechanic for fighting enemies. So let's go back up top. Now, how Dorothy's going to work is she's going to be like the upgrade for our town in general. Like, our town works on... Wow, why'd I get that achievement right now? I've already played this. That's weird. Who knows? I don't know what that achievement's for anyways. But she's gonna work as our, like, our town upgrades, leveling up the town. Like, right now our town is level 1, and with each upgrade we get, we unlock new things that can be bought, from Cranky, and, like, new buildings will show up in town, new people, stuff like that as we increase our level as well. While Cranky focuses much more on upgrading individual things. Also, I definitely forgot to mention, Dorothy, whenever we go to her, she also gives us money for the ore that we collect for her. So she's basically the shop that we would sell things to, and Cranky here is the guy that we buy things from, at least in the early game. There will be others later on, but he is the most basic, starting one. So, let me see. Okay. I was worried because the copper pickaxe is the +2 ground damage. Basically, ground damage, it's not like damage against enemy units. It increases how strong the pickaxe is against, like, certain minerals and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and get our first upgrade so we can start mining through things much quickly and just skip through Dorothy's little conversation right there. and keep on moseying on along. I want to show off the little trick with this enemy right here. Basically, one cool thing you could do is if you, as you just saw right there, if you break through soil fast enough before the enemies can kind of awaken from their hibernative state inside like their little tunnel or crevice that they dug in for themselves, then you will actually kill them with a one-hit kill, which obviously is very beneficial towards your progress throughout the game. So yeah, the game also is not simply just mining down into the depths like this. There's also like individual kind of quests that you will find along your way. And right now we're kind of getting started with one. As you can see on the map that is in the top right side of the screen, there's this kind of a red dot that's just sticking out on the map. That's basically where our current goal is for us, like where we're supposed to head as we progress in our future in regards to this game. Oh, I knew I wasn't gonna be able to take out that guy. If I planned that out a little bit better, I probably could. Let's go ahead and beat up this guy. He's got some nice ores sticking around him too, so didn't get him either. That's actually getting us pretty close to death for this early in the game, but you know, it's always a positive thing taking out these enemies. That's something that you're always gonna want to focus on, because they always drop some more of those gear items whenever you progress against them and all that jazz, so they're very, very beneficial towards your progress in the game. Now these rocks, these ones that kind of look like they have ores in them themselves, those can't be mined through, at least not with the progression that I've made in the game so far. But what they do is they collapse whenever you mine out what's beneath them. One nice thing I should say about this game, whenever you die under here, like in the main tunnels, you will actually get revived back on the surface and lose some gold and stuff like that. But if you die on these floors, the little cave systems just in here on the side, you will actually just respawn right here, and I don't think there's any penalty at all from what I've seen. So these are kind of like checkpoint rooms, I suppose you could think of them. This is an interesting mineral right here, also a very, very frustrating one at times. Basically, it's standard in so many platformers, just the ground that breaks after you step on it, and then followed by spike pits underneath in many cases. Very, very annoying situations to be in, but like I said, pretty standard for oh god, we almost fell down that. Can we climb up that ladder? No, we can't! That was very foolish of me. Probably should not have tried that. That's one thing you always gotta realize, Brendan. Not everything in the background is also foreground, and actually looking in the background, there sure are a lot of ladders back there, so I probably should have realized it. What we just picked up, as you probably saw, was like a kind of a tri-gear setup. Those things are really cool because they heal or fill up your three like basic resources for those regards. We've only seen 2 of them so far. We've seen our health and like our flame or our heat, but we will see another one. Not to spoil anything, because I'll actually show it in this video. The third one is water, which works for steam. Now here's the thing that makes this game very Metroidvania. Basically, inside all these cave systems and all throughout the game, you will find upgrade stations where your character will actually gain new abilities. Like, for example, right now we got the speed boost, which is activated by holding down X as we run. Super nice because it allows us to jump higher in many situations, gives us a little bit more momentum for our jumps, but also it allows us to walk over those things without having any issues. And this is also another very unique rock right here. If you see one that's like really cracked on one side but just is dirt on the other, that means you can only break it, and I mean only break it. Even with upgrades, you can only break it from one side. Is there anything for us in here? Any treasure or anything like that? Does not appear so. Just an empty room. So let's go ahead and work our way back up top. Oh no! That didn't work out nearly like I wanted to. I'll just avoid those. Oh, okay, I remember this. Basically how we get in there. Just do a little bit of tricky management with where you're standing and you could get some easy gems. Unfortunately though, this is actually a perfect opportunity to talk about your inventory. Your inventory is another thing that can be upgraded, but you do have a capacity for how much gems you can hold. Basically, gems actually work by size in this game. You start off with 3 slots, and you can only have 1 type in each slot. But, oh god, don't want to fall down there. But, different gems have either different weight or, like, different size. I don't know what it's supposed to represent exactly. So, for example, that weird, like, copper-y looking gems, we actually can hold 4 of them in 1 slot, while this emerald here, we can only hold 1. So, obviously, the emerald is much more valuable, one would imagine, but, actually, maybe their values add up about evenly once you have an even amount of them, like we have right now. Ah, here's an example of the run jump to give us a little boost right there. We actually have no way of getting up there right now, I believe. So basically what we'd want to do at this part is just, mosey on along and head on back up to the surface, which I think we're going to do right now. And, honestly, after this point, I'll probably jump into my later save to show off the kind of progression that you can make in this game, or will make, I should say. So let's go ahead and sell our things to Dorothy. There's always, another thing I should say, there's always some nice flavor text whenever you get new upgrades and stuff like that as well. All the characters, have different dialogue whenever you come back with new items. They're always like, oh, what is that nice thing you bought there? Oh, ho ho, super fancy, I love it. So let's see. Let's go ahead and show off the ladder right now, since I probably won't do that once I go to the next one. Ladders are very good items, although I do think they kind of fall apart later on in the game. Playing with an Xbox controller, you use the right bumper to control what items you have selected, and then you just press Y to place down a ladder. Basically, it allows you to climb up surfaces where you might not be able to. Like, for example, if we needed to get up here, in the area that I just kind of destroyed it, and there's all of these broken walls here, we'd be like, hey, how do we get up there? Like, ignore the open space on the left and right. We'd be like, hey, how do we get up right here? All you need is to place down a ladder and then just climb on up. So it's a very, very, very helpful item for you to progress in those regards. So yeah, let's go ahead and go back to the main menu so I can show off what things look like, in the later stages well, not later stages of the game, but much later than 15 minutes, I should say. Don't want to go too late in the game because I don't want to spoil, a huge amount, you know? And this point, from my experience, this far in is still very, very early in the game. So, one thing you might notice is that our town has a heck of a lot more going for it now. We've got a new guy chilling here who has a lot of his unique upgrades as well, like even up to a silver pickaxe, which is super nice. Cranky has all sorts of new items and upgrades that we could buy from him, and like our inventory is much bigger, and there's this weird teleportation pod right here. One of the things that like, basically, I think I'll just go through all the items that you could find later on as I show you guys, like, how much I've dug down and stuff like that. The newest thing, and by far the most valuable thing I've found, has been the drill so far, which allows you to dig through things like mad. It can even drill through types of rocks that the pickaxe cannot. I actually don't know if okay, not even the drill can get through that stuff. That stuff is like the uber power rock or something like that. Can't dig through that either. But yeah, so there's obviously a lot of progression towards getting to getting much farther in the game. Oh god, spikes. I freaking hate these spikes so much. Now this is an interesting thing right here. You might see this predicament and be like, hey, how the hell do you get up there? That's actually something that uses water, just like the drill does. I should say, the drill uses steam power, so it requires water, which is in our top left screen. But also, if you hold down and press A once you have gotten a selective upgrade, gives you this kind of cool rocket jump that you can use. So let's go ahead and take out this dude as we mosey on along. That dude is nice enough to give us some water as well to keep on increasing our capacity in that regards. So as you can see, there's like a hell of a lot to explore as you keep on moseying down along all the floors. Let's see if we could kill this guy with actually doing a rocket jump. Nah, that won't work. But there are two ways to refill your water. You can either... Oh, I really want to get up there and back to that gem. Oh well, we'll just have to forget that. There's 2 ways to fill up water. You can either get it by killing enemies and grab one of the water gears, or just find them, I suppose. Or if you stand in water, you'll slowly drain the thing away. But unfortunately, that is not unlimited. It will always come back once you go up to the surface, but it won't last forever in that, it won't last forever in one sitting, I should say. Now, this is one of the most useful things I've seen in the game so far, at least in my opinion. You might be wondering, like, once you get to a certain point, won't you, like, die just trying to get up to the surface from digging down? Like, we've gotten down so far. We're down, I don't know what floor we're on right now, but we're down really far. You can actually buy these teleporters, which will send you immediately back up to the surface via this little teleporter thing. And then later on, as you get to even farther progression, this spot will actually open up, which will take you to future floors within the game that, of course, are decked out with super cool new loot, additional rocks you need to break, stuff like that, more difficult rocks to break, and as per one would expect, new very, very scary enemies, like, oh god, that guy almost killed me, so let's get out of there. We're not even gonna deal with him anymore, but yeah, so let's go ahead and sell our stuff to Dorothy, see how much money we get there as we mosey on our way towards level 9. And, I'm not gonna bother healing myself, even though fall damage could do some crucial damage to me. Let's actually just go ahead, teleport back down again, so I could continue, for pretty much, I think, the very end of this video, continue to give you guys a feeling for how much progression you're going to make just to get to the frickin' second floor in the game. This is very nice. This is a very valuable... Oh, no, no, no! This is a very valuable, substance or material in the game. They're basically these weird light orbs that are also a more rare, unique form of currency throughout the game. One that will be required. One that you will be required to use to buy things like teleporters and more advanced upgrades as you progress throughout the game. Like, I could actually try to show off some of those upgrades specifically once I get back to the surface. Let's go ahead and pick this thing up along the way as well, since that can only be picked up by mining directly through that rock. And I feel the need to be very afraid and very careful, since I'm such low health working my way down here. But, we're almost to that cave system that I want to reach. So, yeah, here we go. This is the bottom of the first floor, or I guess you could technically say, like, the first world of your mining progression throughout this game. So, and you have to remember, all of these paths I dug out on my own and fought through enemies to get through, and all of that has been really, really fun and enjoyable. Like, I've enjoyed every second of this game so far in my play. Granted, I do think it does start off a little bit slow, but the game really picks up more and more as you play along and get new, really cool upgrades towards your progression and stuff like that. So, here, let me just quickly show off. For example, the teleporters require 3 of those blue orbs, which, as I believe I mentioned already, but, it's worth saying twice. Those blue orbs are very, very rare. As you can see, it requires 10 of them, and 250 coins. Just to upgrade the pickaxe to be more damaging once again. And, like, getting your water tank more full requires, some of those blue orbs. Basically, the main upgrades to your items and the best upgrades to your items require a mix of those blue orbs and gold for the most part as you continue out throughout your journey in SteamWorld Dig. So yeah, I think that's all that, I feel needs to be shown off so far. SteamWorld Dig, it is super, super good. I've enjoyed all of my time with it so far, and I can't believe I'm forgetting how much it is. I always mean to write this down on how much it's going for on Steam. It's only between 10 or 15 bucks though. I really wish I could remember if it was the 10 or the 15, but I'll make sure to mark that below in the description since I'm forgetting that. And so far from my experience, it's been worth every penny. So if you're into side-scrolling kind of puzzle games, but not too puzzly really at all, then this one is definitely a worthy pickup of your time. So yeah, go check it out. I'll put the links to where you could get it at Steam below, and yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time.